Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy, and I am back with another fun-filled video for you. And today, we're going to be taking a look at what's inside this box. I have a very small knife, so let's go ahead and get at it. So the knife that I'm going to be unboxing today is the Spyderco discontinued Bradley Air. So let's go ahead and take a look at this guy. It's pretty interesting little knife. There's a lot of surprises with this knife that really kind of grabbed me. So let's go ahead and pull it out. First of all, what I love about the knife is that it's white. You hardly ever see any white knives these days, at least ones that look like this. I gotta be honest with you, I did not know when I saw this knife in pictures that the knife was going to be this small. And speaking of size, let's go ahead and get the overall specs out of the way. So this is the Spyderco Bradley Air. The overall length of this knife is 5.94 inches. The blade length is 2.56. The cutting edge is 2.375. The blade thickness is 0.09 or 0.9 in the blade thickness. The blade material on this knife is a nice surprise for such a tiny knife, because you'd never think they'd put that steel on something so small. But the steel is M4. That's right, a super steel. The steel does not have any corrosive properties to it, so you're going to have to wipe it down a lot. The blade shape is a traditional Wharncliffe style blade. It's got a flat blade grind on there. The edge is obviously a plain edge. The handle length is 3.39. They say it's color gray, but to me it looks like it's white. The knife handles are made with glass. I'm going to say it's glass nylon filled is what it is. But it's a very, very sort of, not rough, but you can feel the texture of the handles on this knife. I don't know how else to say it. It is a liner lock, and one of the most fascinating things about this knife is that it's also a manual knife. One of the things that's fascinating about this knife is that the maker of the knife, Gayle Bradley, he actually made this knife very, very accessible. I mean, my hand is small, right? But the knife is even still supposed to be too small for my hand to even open, even though my hand is pretty small. But check this out. The hole, the Spyderco hole, is actually large enough that you can actually easily put your finger in there and flick it like a regular knife. All you got to do is find that sweet spot on how to hold it. But once you find it, you can open that real easy. No problem. You can even do the middle finger flick with this. Well, if you find the right sweet spot, there you go. You can do the middle finger flick with this knife. So it's very, very accessible. The fact that the knife is incredibly small, I don't know if that's a negative or a positive. I guess I'll find out next week when I actually get a chance to use it. For now, it's just in my hand being flicked at, being admired, and trying to understand it. But again, I do like the fact that he made the knife incredibly accessible. So that's definitely a plus. There's no pocket clip on this knife. They were talking about putting a pocket clip on it, I remember, in one of the videos, and then they decided against it. This is supposed to be a true gentleman's folder. My opinion, this is like the perfect knife for me to carry when I go to work, because I work in an office. So, this knife obviously was meant to open up envelopes and packages and stuff like that. So it's the perfect office knife. But the fact that the steel is M4, I mean, you could probably do some serious heavy-duty cutting with this if you needed to. I don't believe you can cut because the size of the knife And the fact that the ergonomics on the handle or on the knife are so limited by the size of the knife, even though technically you could use the M4 steel to open up like television boxes, I don't believe you're going to be doing that with this knife all day long. It's just not possible. It's too small of a knife to do that with. But they did, if you take a look at the titanium liners, they are skeletonized. And if I hold it up to the camera, you can see those skeletonized titanium liners. They're pretty thick for such a small knife. I mean, you know, you've seen like those little teeny tiny knives that are the same size as this that are not this well constructed. It's almost as if though he took a regular size knife, I'm using the swayback as an example, and just made it to the same exact configuration, but just kind of sized it down. So that's kind of probably the idea that Gayle Bradley had when he made this knife, and mine was to create sort of, you know, a catch-22 where you've got a heavy-duty knife in such a tiny little package. Maybe that was the thinking behind making this knife, because if we take a look at the Gayle Bradley, his other knife, it's, you know, the Gayle Bradley is like 3 times the size of this Gayle Bradley Air. But yet they are constructed almost the same. I mean, if you take a look at the Gayle Bradley, the titanium liners, again, they are skeletonized, and you've got these G10 / carbon fiber handles covering the entire knife. It's almost the same design with the exception of the blade shape, except it's now in a smaller package. So that's just one of the things to think about. I mean, it's obviously it's a novelty knife, right? This would be perfect for somebody like myself who's a collector. I gotta have the knife. It's small. It's cool. I gotta have it. But you know, still there is use to this knife. There's some usefulness to this knife. It's not just a cute little collector's piece. So that's basically what Gayle Bradley was going for. But again, what impresses me the most is the fact that it's accessible like a regular folder. It's not like it's so small that I gotta open it like this every time, right? You know, I gotta do like open it that way, or be very, very careful, because the knife is so small I can't actually enjoy even like flipping a piece this small. But that's not the case with this one. Gayle Bradley makes sure that you can do that. I mean, that's one of the more interesting things about this knife. A small knife that you can actually handle like a big one. So I think that's a plus. The fact that he used them for steel, was it necessary? No. But is it cool? Oh, hell yeah, you know. Again, the skeletonized liners look really, really nice. They add a lot of lightness to the knife. So let's go ahead and do some size comparisons again, because that's always kind of fun to do that. So first off, let's start with the Big Daddy. Here's the Gayle Bradley. You can see just how gigantic in size that is. Compared to the Gayle Bradley, this Spyderco Air is just a tiny little dwarf, right? How about we bring it out something a little bit more comparable? How about the Sebenza 21? So this might give you a little better idea, because Sebenza 21 is actually a small knife, but even the Sebenza 21 with a blade length of 2.78, I believe, this knife even towers the Bradley Air. And, you know, if you don't think that a knife can be any smaller, you know, you're wrong. There you go. So, Sebenza 21. Let's put it up against the swayback. Alright. There it is up against the swayback. How about something you guys are familiar with? And bring up these different knives, because there's a lot of people out there that own different knives. I wanted to have at least one that everybody really, really knows. So let's go ahead and bring out the Zero Tolerance 0562, which has gotten quite a bit of use also. Probably going to start using this big guy again for more stuff. So all my other knives are like getting a little worn down. Not really worn down, but you know, a little bit. Needs a rest. So there it is up against the 0562, the LMAX version. custom scale. One of my favorites, how about the Benchmade Anthem integral lock? So there you go. And for just a little fun and flavor, how about the Kershaw bare knuckle knife? There you go. So as you can see, the knife is real tiny. Probably doesn't even fall into the category of a knife. You know, this is, you know, you probably look at this knife like you would one of those small, you know, Swiss Army knives or something. But, you know, I think the knife is more than that. I don't know. I mean, I would see this knife being carried in my pocket, maybe like a secondary piece. Not that I've ever carried two knives at any time, but if I ever wanted to, you know, just for a little fun, yeah, I could carry this knife in like the small pocket of my jeans, and then in the big pocket, you know, carry one of my customs or something. But, you know, for working in an office, yeah, this would be the perfect knife to just pop out, hand this to anybody to use. They won't get scared. The knife does seem to have a little lock stick. You can hear that. So it's got a little bit of lock stick to it, but not enough to annoy you. And basically, it's lock stick. Lock stick exists when it's a titanium. It's when it's titanium rubbing up against titanium that can become a problem with the lock stick. Basically, all you got to do is clean it. You know, rub a little graphite on it. The lock stick goes, and you know, over time, you know, the lock stick will go away just like it did on the on my chokeway there. So back to the Spyderco Brandley Air. Aesthetically, it's beautiful. I think, you know, the glass nylon. You know, I guess it's glass nylon carbon fiber. I don't know, twill. I don't know what they would call this material. I heard it was glass nylon filled. It's real pretty. You know, it's kind of got that silverish white kind of eye-popping color to it. It was meant to be sort of an elegant piece. I can see why a lot of people would miss this knife. It's just so small. You might think it's kind of insignificant, but once you actually get it in your hands, you can understand the logic behind making this knife and why it came to be. You know, the idea that a knife does not always have to be big to be powerful, I guess, would apply to the Brandley Air. You know, but if you're looking for a knife to carry that is fairly heavy duty but is in a small package, this would be your guy. I'm really happy I bought this knife. I did get it at kind of a high price, but I mean, now that I have it in my hand, the fact that it is discontinued, the fact that I'm a collector, yeah, I mean, I had to have this one in my collection. I just had to have it. There was no way I wasn't going to get this one. Just because I do that thing in my collecting where I really, really like the knife and the knife maker that made it, so I'm going to try and get more than just one knife to be the judge of his work. And both these two knives are actually quite excellent in every way, shape, and form. I've already used this one quite a bit, and I'm really happy with the performance. We're going to find out next week how this knife performs, because I'll be bringing this to the office and doing all kinds of cutting tasks with it. I can guarantee it'll probably go through more than just, you know, like an envelope or two. We're going to be cutting some serious boxes with this thing. So that is it for the unboxing of the Spyderco Gayle Brandley Air. I don't know. I mean, I like it. I do like it. I just love the fact that you can actually flip this thing like a regular knife. I mean, that just cracks me up because it barely even fits in your hand. I mean, ergonomically, it was you can get, my hands are small, right? I can actually choke up on the knife ergonomically and get all four fingers on it at a comfortable grip. You know, perfect for, and of course my thumb will ride all the way up onto almost to the tip of the blade. That's how small it is. If I did the Filipino grip, which is what this is, you know, I would probably get a lot of purchase out of that. if I were going to do any kind of power cutting. And with the M4 steel, you can do the power cutting on this little guy. So this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off. Just doing my quick unboxing of the Spyderco Air. I like to put it up against the box because it's so tiny. Spyderco Bradley Air, discontinued piece. Really can't wait to use this in the office. I got a funny feeling I'm going to be using it a hell of a lot. Working in an office, I need a knife. I'll probably be bringing this a lot, in which case this knife will probably be brought down to the nub or something. You know, not that I'm opening packages all day long down there. You know, it's all just pencil work down there. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to find some time to use this and get back to you with the full review. So this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off with my little teeny tiny knife. I forgot to mention this knife, like all Spyderco high quality knives, are made in the Taiwan Taichung factory. So, I mean, I forgot to mention too this, didn't I? If we take a look at the centering on the knife, it's just dead on. There you have it. It is nowhere near off. It's perfect. So that's also a plus. This is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off, doing my unboxing of the Spyderco Gayle Bradley Air. I hope this has been interesting for you. And I believe tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, I will be reviewing not a knife, but a couple of wallets that I got from a brand new company that I've been dying to do a video on because I just think it's one of the more interesting wallets. Usually you guys have checked out my channel. I've done reviews on Dasofini Mir, which has now changed its name to the Open Sea Leather Company, run by Michael Bluth. So I'm going to be doing a wallet video, not from him, but from a new company called Tourist Camp, and I can't wait to get those wallets because those are really going to be something. And then next week, I've got another knife coming. I'm hoping you guys are going to enjoy that video. I really can't wait to get that one. That's a long-awaited limited edition knife, actually. The knife, by the way, that I'm going to be reviewing is not discontinued. It's just a limited edition version of the knife. So this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, once again signing off with my Gayle Bradley Air. Consider this little tiny guy, if you will. You come across it. I don't know if you're going to want to pay the price to get this little knife. Like I said, it's now a collector's piece, or becoming a collector's piece. I caught this one on eBay. This little knife is not around a lot, I can tell you. So if you do see it online, the price is going to be jacked up there. I don't want to say how much, but it's going to be up there. So this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off, saying happy knife hunting, and stay safe out there, you guys. We're going to have to vote in the next election if we don't want this pandemic to continue, because, you know, it would be kind of nice to actually have a president that's actually going to do something to get rid of the pandemic. But whatever. We'll find out. We'll see. This is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off. Happy knife hunting. You guys stay safe out there, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless.